Okay, so this is my 2019 garden walkthrough. I had a very busy summer of dance, and so as you can see, some of the weeds have gotten away from me, but this is the raspberry patch, and we have one of our bee boxes right back there. And you can see raspberries are ready to come off. Probably come out here later tonight. Down there is the creek, and you could see the blue right there. That's the pool that we put in this year. Creek's pretty low, but that's pretty normal for this time of the season. And here is my rose garden. I've got to get in here. That lemon balm started taking over, and we are late in the season, so there's less and less roses in bloom currently, but you can still see some. There's my Eden back there, and I should have come out here sooner, but it's just been a rough summer, so I've got to get in there and do some more weeding, as you can tell. But I still had a beautiful rose harvest this year, blueberries, gooseberries. Let's see. These are all blueberries back here. There's a gooseberry here, honeyberries here, and a rogue tree that I decided to let grow. And then we have 3 currants, 1, 2, and the third one is actually right back here. Another honeyberry, some huckleberries, my rhubarb. There's some lavender, no longer in bloom, that is like right down here. And then over to the greenhouse. So got the beautiful greenhouse and the roses that are over here. And this is the location for the poison garden. And as you can see, there is a bunch of rogue mugwort and nightshades in there, and then you can see the datura growing in the pot. So we have some poison plants in there, but not yet. Not it's not the way I want it yet, I guess. So all right, here we go. Now you can see, like, I've done some half weeding in here as well, but it's just the way the summer was. Hey, out of the garden, you. Sorry, guys. Okay, there we go. I had to lock the gate, otherwise Puppy Pants was going to come in and run through my gardens. So this is the potato patch, which is mostly done for the season. We've been just digging out the potatoes pretty slowly. You can see there's some on the surface that I didn't get last time. I've got some yellow dock growing in the back, small rue plant there. I did have some echinacea. I went ahead and picked it, but this is part of the plant. And then I have this huge pokeberry that's unfortunately going to have to get moved to the poison garden next year. It just got really big, and got to be careful with the poke leaves eating them raw. But I do have these wonderful pokeberries, and I will be coming out to pick them and make some pokeberry ink again this year. This was the onion garden here as well, and as you can see, we have picked out most of the good ones. There's a few left that we have to get. We just left them in there. We have some chard and the beans here. Got the beans here, and I've decided for what's left here. There's still some green beans. Oopsie. There's still some green beans, like you can see right here, so I'll probably pick some of those for dinner tonight. But for the most part, I'm starting to let them just dry out and hang. It's much easier for me to harvest the dry beans like this. So I've got lots of different ones. I've got some snake beans here, which are really neat. I love the pattern that they make, that texture on them. That's really awesome. And then over here I had arugula, which you can see it's late in the season, started to seeded lettuce. So this was the lettuce garden, but I'm getting ready to clean this one out and put in some winter greens. And then we have some mullein here. We need to come out and harvest. Rue, need to harvest. This lemon balm's gone crazy. I need to just dig the whole thing out. Leftover zipper spider, or I guess garden spider's zipper web right there. Got some sage. This is what's left of the tomatoes currently. And you can see even the borage is kind of fallen over. My strawberries got really weeded this year, but we have a ton right now, which is really great. Late season strawberries I'm quite happy with, but yeah, some of this grass just took over real quick. Like rained and I got busy, and the next thing you know. So this is a good one to show. I've got red peppers here that I'm waiting to redden up. This was green peppers. I picked all those. These were black peppers, and I also picked all of these earlier this week. And these are eggplants. This is what's kind of left of my eggplant currently. Got a couple extras, probably make some nice fried eggplant for dinner. This was pimentos. I may get a few more small ones off of here for the season, I'm not sure. And this is cayenne. I really wanted to do my own hot sauce this year. I don't know, maybe I'm like crazy, but I decided to grow these. So we'll see what happens. I have some really small and late melons coming in, mixed with a rogue potato. I decided to just let it grow. It's starting to die off though, like the others did. We have grapes. We have lots of grapes, and they grow along our fences. So here's a bundle, or a cluster, I guess. I have a pumpkin section over here with like different pumpkins and squashes. Here's a funky pumpkin and something pumpkin-y, squashy growing over there. Go this way here. So you can see stuff starting to die back, but I have a fairy tale pumpkin, a regular pumpkin. I've got two small whites right there. I've got one hanging here still, coming up. And I've got one over there. And I know that there's also some back over here, but I'm not going to crawl. And I think there actually may be some on the other side of the fence. That happens actually quite often, that the pumpkins jump the fence and grow out there. This is the one sunflower I had this year. I was real busy this spring as well, so I didn't get to plant as many. It's probably about 15 feet, maybe 20. I don't know. It's like twice the size of me. So it's very, very tall. Okay, going back over here. This little strawberry bin is kind of done for the season. They were earlier strawberries, but I think they also need some fertilizer. I've got another mullein right here that I decided to let grow because it looked nice and healthy. There's another grape right there in the back. And tons and tons of squash. So I'm probably gonna fry the heck out of these babies, these little mini pumpkin squashes. And there's some late and small melons. We got all the big ones already, and I was like, oh, just leave these little ones. We'll see if they grow. They kind of aren't. But that'll be nice for the chickens. The chickens will have a nice treat. That's my mugwort right there, my giant mugwort. So first season mugwort grows straight up in a spike. And then after that, I'm looking around to see if I can find one. Then after that, it bushes out and turns into this gigantic bush. So, and behind that is motherwort. I've got another mullein, and there's a little wormwood right there. I don't know if it'll let me zoom in. Right there. All right, let me see if I can zoom out again. Excellent. All right, so coming back around, we've got some purple grapes here. Oh, and a snail without a shell. Say hello. He's got his little antennas. Aren't those so cute? Okay, so there's our purple grapes here. Looking good. And this was our corn. We have picked it all except for, I think, like that one right there. We were trying to see if it would grow. And we pulled some out already, but this is our corn, or at least where our corn was. And then we have more beans, and again, I'm letting them all dry out so that I can have a really good dry bean harvest. I do like green beans, but I don't love them enough to eat this many a day. But over the winter, I do a lot of crock pots, and it is really easy to just throw these beans in there. I've got a nice broccoli head that I've been watching for a couple days now. Super excited. I'm going to give it like 2 more days, and then I'm going to maybe saute that up with some olive oil and garlic and eat the heck out of it. I've got a couple cabbages. So I've got this cabbage here, and then I've got 3 purples right here. And these on the outsides are Brussels sprouts. And so I'll have a nice fall Brussels sprout harvest. Got the cabbages. I think this is another Brussels sprout coming up. Got the broccoli. Got another little broccoli floret starting here, and the third one. And then we have another rogue corn. So this happens a lot either with composting, because we do a lot of composting, and or just birds. Birds come around and they eat the seeds and then they drop the seeds. So anyways, back over here, more beans. And you can see some of them even climbed up the corn stalks, which is awesome. And then we have a ton of cucumbers. We were actually out here earlier this week, and I think that we picked all of the cucumbers, except I guess for this one here, which got really big really fast. So these are pickled cucumbers, and we make a ton of pickles, and so I'll be doing that later today. I think this evening I'll be cutting them up. And this is what's left of the beets. I'm letting some of this horsetail grow because I found out that it's really, really good for urinary tract health. And so instead of getting angry and pulling all my horsetail out this year, I've been letting it grow so that I can tincture some of it. But I do have these like really beautiful and healthy looking beets. So I'm gonna probably come out here in a couple days and get the rest of them. And I've got this was another pickle. And it's also mostly died back here. And then we have the final pickle, and there's a nice one. I'm actually gonna let that one grow for a couple more days. See if I can't get some nice snacking cucumbers. And last year I put carrots in. This year all that grew was grass and that one little lonely carrot. I did have some carrots right through here, but I pulled all of those, as you can see already. Yeah, so this is most of the garden here. And, oh, I forgot to show you the asparagus. Here's the asparagus. This thin box here. I've got space to put in more. Currently the lemon balm has taken over, but this winter I'll be pulling all that out and clearing my beds again. And I've changed up my travel schedule so that I don't travel in the spring and summer because I need to tend my garden. So you can see the chicken coop way back there, and what I call the big ass herb box for the big ass herbs. Beans. Oh yeah, I have another trellis of beans in the back over there as well. I forgot to show you. And then I also have clematis growing, so it flowers kind of intermittently. And that huge thing right there is oregano, which I'm going to clear out again. It got too big this year. And that's my favorite hawthorn right there. And that's pretty much it. Here's the other direction. So thank you so much for looking at my garden, and I really appreciate you taking the time to share this with me and to I don't know, just look at my life, I guess, and I hope that it inspires you in some of your own, but I do hope that it inspires you to weed and not to be a lazy bum like I was this year. Actually, it's not true. I wasn't lazy. I just committed to too much dance, and I ended up doing that instead. So until next time, I will try and do a 2020 spring so that you can see all of the actually beautiful flowers and everything in its greenery instead of at the end of summer, right at the second harvest, right before everything starts going dormant. So I figured this was my last chance. I better do it now or never. So there it is. Again, thank you very, very much for taking the time to watch this video and to share just a piece of my life. Thank you.